So if what I'm hearing about UK NMC reviewing the overseas nurses English language requirements and potentially reducing this IELTS score is really true, then that is really good news. This is because most people are still struggling with the IELTS after several attempts, and this exams honestly is so expensive. So if they are actually going to look into this matter and reduce the IELTS score, most overseas nurses will be eligible to come to the UK and work as nurses. Hello guys, you're welcome to my channel. I hope everybody is doing well. So I'm actually in a good mood today because of what I'm going to talk to you about, because I know most people who follow my channel are going to benefit from this. On this channel we talk about anything relating to you migrating from overseas as a healthcare worker, as a registered nurse, senior carer, and I'm excited to come your way with this video because I know it's going to potentially help so many people fulfill their dreams of migrating to the UK to work as registered nurses. Let me just give you a brief overview of how the UK nursing registration is like. That is if you are coming from overseas. So you will basically need to write the IELTS, which is an English proficiency exams, and the UK NMC expects you to get 7 in reading, 7 in speaking, 7 in listening, and 6.5 in writing. I know this is not an easy band to achieve. So most people are still struggling, and some have even opted for the OET. Some have been successful with the OET, but some are still struggling even after trying both. After you're done with the IELTS, the next exams will be the computer-based nursing exams, which is more like a multiple choice exams, after which you come into the UK to write the practical exam, which is the OSCE. Then you qualify as a registered nurse, you get your PIN, then you start working as a band 5 registered nurse in the UK. So this is more like a general overview of how the process is like. So the IELTS is what I've realized most people are still struggling with. The CBT, I would say, is not that difficult because it's all nursing. But the IELTS has nothing to do with nursing, so they can ask you any question, and this is where the frustration comes from. Initially, the expectation was for you to get 7 across all the 4 modules, but in 2016, the overseas nurses did a petition to the UK NMC, and they reviewed this petition and reduced only the writing to 6.5. So even after they reviewed it and reduced the writing to 6.5, still people are struggling. Most overseas nurses are struggling with the IELTS up till now, to the point where they've decided to come into the UK as senior carers or healthcare assistants, and then potentially write the IELTS or even try OET in order to register with the UK NMC. So the news is that UK NMC is potentially going to review the IELTS score for overseas nurses and potentially reduce it. We don't really know exactly how it's going to end up yet, but this is the news. Let's keep our fingers crossed and hope for a positive feedback. So the UK NMC is going to have a meeting on the 26th of May, which is tomorrow, or probably by the time you watch this video, it would have gone past 26th of May. And the plan is that once they agree to what they are proposing, it's going to take effect, or they're going to implement it by October 2022, which is October this year. So let's hope that whatever it is that they decide, or whatever the outcome of this meeting will be, let's pray that it will actually be implemented in October as they are proposing, so that at least it will give so many nurses the opportunity to migrate to the UK and work as registered nurses in UK. At the moment, UK NMC is considering 3 different areas that they can look into to help with this IELTS score. So the first stage is to look into the score that is currently accepted for the English language test, including how applicants can combine scores across test settings. So this is about the IELTS scores or the OET scores. So people are still struggling with the IELTS score even since they reduced the writing to 6.5. All the other models still stand at 7, which is very, very difficult for most people to achieve. So they expect you to get 7 in 3 models and 6.5 in writing, and an overall score of 7. So maybe with this first stage they're talking about, maybe they might consider reducing some of the scores in the bands, or maybe reduce the overall score of the 7 to maybe 6.5. No one knows yet. And the second stage is whether they can accept evidence of non-registered practice in English supported by an employer reference or other reference. Maybe they could consider taking employer reference. So maybe your employer can write a letter as proof or as evidence that you practice in English. So I know there are some overseas nurses who are even currently here in the UK. They've managed to pass the CBT and OSCE, but then the IELTS is still a problem. So if your employer can actually write to testify to the NMC that you are practicing in English, I mean, maybe they can consider, because UK is an English speaking country. So if somebody is currently here and practicing as maybe a healthcare assistant, just because he's struggling with the IELTS, your employer can give you something to testify. So hopefully they would consider something like this, either for those who are currently here or even from overseas. And the third change is whether it can accept non-nursing or midwifery postgraduate qualifications taught and examined in English. So the third stage, they might consider that if you have any postgraduate qualification which was taught and examined in English, you might not need to write the IELTS. So there are a lot of nurses, aside their diploma or degree in nursing, they've done a lot of postgraduate course which was obviously taught and examined in English. Some people have even traveled to the UK to do master's degree and all of that, which was taught in this country. And I mean, you can't actually study a master's program if you can't speak English or if you can write English. So they are hoping to consider all of this, that if you've ever done a postgraduate course which was taught, even if it's not a nursing midwifery course, but was taught in English, they might consider that. So these are the three main areas they are considering. So this, I believe, it's good news and it's a step in the right direction. So let's all pray and hope that they will actually give all of this consideration, so that it will open so many doors for a lot of overseas nurses who are finding IELTS very, very difficult. And let me just chip this in before I end this video. I've created a Telegram group. I'll leave the link to that Telegram group in the video description so that you can join. So it's a platform where we share news, like any updates, you just quickly put it there. A lot of people are asking questions. There are a lot of questions and answers going on over there. People are actually benefiting from the information that's being distributed on that platform. So feel free to join. And I'm going to keep an eye out on this information. The moment I hear anything new, I'm going to share it. So stick to the channel, subscribe if you've not yet done that. Please don't forget to share this video, because this is good news and we have to spread it so that at least it will give hope, you know, to some of the nurses who are still struggling with the IELTS. So I will end this video by saying thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in my upcoming video. Bye bye.